Hello there, and welcome to Club Nintendo, level 201 for February 2022. How's it going, John?
Everything's a-okay. Everything's rock solid.
Good.
How are you, Tim?
No complaints. It's been a busy beginning of the year, so we'll talk about here. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Excellent. So, a lot of stuff I want to cover today. I just want to touch on like our favorite games of the last year, just like mentions. I don't think we have time to go in depth as we have a Nintendo Direct to talk about, Nintendo financial stuff. The Wii U and 3DS eShops are shutting down rather soon, which is a major bummer to me. Arceus, Pokemon Arceus, we've been playing that. I think pretty much all of us have been loving that game, and I think that's about it. Oh, acquisitions. There's been some big acquisitions worth just talking about briefly. And do we want to start with Arceus? Is that a good place to begin this discussion?
Sure.
So, Aaron, I think you're the furthest along. You've beaten it. I just got the red chain, so that's where I'm at. I'm towards the end of the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
I played it in the story part in like two segments. So I played like 1 hour of story and I stopped and I just caught a lot of stuff. And then I finished the story and like the next time that I went back to it. So
yeah, I'm like 15 hours worth of gameplay time in. And I'm at the red chain. Is that like, I'm at the very end. Is there like a bunch more or?
There's not a whole lot more after that, but there is like a prologue, there's a lot of stuff after.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And John, where are you at in the game?
I'm in the second main area.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I am not very far at all. I am enjoying it, however, other than the fact, no, I'm not going to start with the things I don't like. I am enjoying it a lot. It's really fun. It's fresh, it's definitely different. I'm enjoying a lot of the, it's way more about collecting Pokemon, which is what I always enjoyed doing back in the, red and blue and gold, silver days. But man, people really like to talk in this game. Everyone won't shut up. And I'm like, oh my God, please just shut up.
Yeah, I really don't care about the story except for the fact that I want to do the story to unlock the things it unlocks as you get through the story, new Pokemon to explore the world with.
Yeah, I paid attention to the story, but I thought it was pretty crummy. I thought it was really lazily done, and I thought that they could have just skipped it all. They could have just been like, hey, you're here to catch Pokemon. And then every few, levels or something, they sit down at the table like they do and have you eat and just talk about the Pokemon that you caught. That could have been way better than what they did.
Yeah, but as far as the actual capturing and exploring the world, that stuff seems really great. Those damn EVs have been a fun grind to try to get enough to get all the EV evolutions. I've got 4 of them at this point.
Oh, I didn't think it was that tough. You can catch them in the whatever they call it. Those rifts. That's the easier
I got
way
one
of
in
doing
the
it.
rift so far, yeah, and it was a pretty powerful one. It's like a level 50 EV, which was cool, and it's got the mimic move, so it can attack with whatever move it sees, kind of thing, which is interesting. Yeah, the rift is weird. It's got some cool Pokemon you discover in there, and you can get beat up pretty badly if you're not careful.
Yeah, I mean, I think I played the game totally wrong, so I never really had a challenge. Right now, I'm in the 90s, 90s level. That's where I beat the game, and everything was so easy.
So towards the end of the game, there's these trial type things where you just battle a pretty high level Pokemon, and that hasn't been a challenge really. I have an equally high level Pokemon that basically could eliminate those Pokemon in 2 hits, and so that part has not. Yeah, so there have been challenging fights, and if you go after alphas too early, those are a bit of a challenge. Yeah, I mean the main challenge is trying to just catch Pokemon without even battling them. That's the main I want to creep up on these guys and just get them. In your guys' experience, do the stone balls have a better capture rate when you're battling Pokemon? Or is it only if you get them by surprise, not in the battle?
I don't use stone balls. What? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the stone ball.
John, we're not able to hear you though.
Yeah, John is muted right now.
Oh, am I muted? Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know anything about stone balls.
Yeah.
Where did you
There's
run
like
across
heavy
those?
balls.
Heavy,
There's
no,
heavy
they're
balls.
very early in the game. They're made of stone.
What do they
Mm,
do? You don't know what they do?
If
no,
you
I
go
think this
behind
is.
them, you can't throw them very far in the
Yeah,
open
those are
world.
called heavy. Yeah, there's heavy balls. There's leaden balls.
Oh yeah, the
There's
heavy
like
balls. They're
gigaton. Yeah,
stone.
there's no there's no stone balls.
They look
You
like stones. They're just like
no, you just have
stones.
no,
Crafted with a little stone.
I mean, you
no,
see the name of the item
I
yeah,
just
on the
call them the
screen.
stone balls.
no. That's not a thing. It's not.
Should be.
That sounds like it should be easier to catch like rock Pokemon or something
That's
like
what
that.
I was thinking.
Yeah,
I
but
was
it's
like,
not.
heavy Pokemon? It catches heavy Pokemon or something.
Are they any better in battle, Aaron? Do you know?
Yeah, well, so I don't use the heavy or like the leaden, but like the Gigaton, and I'm not sure if there's another one, but like the Gigaton ones, yeah, those are pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I mainly used them a lot because I had more materials of the the black little stone things that you crafted with. So it's like, oh, I got like 60 of these balls now. The crafting stuff is cool. Like, I'm not using currency to buy anything except for satchel expansions because what else are you going to spend money on? And the crafting is kind of fun. Just spending some time gathering items and leveling up your Pokemon just by gathering stuff is cool.
Yeah, once I got to where my like the bag space was like 150,000 per slot, then I just went and bought like 1,000 Pokeballs, and so that way I don't really have to worry
Oh,
about crafting.
that's
Stone
smart.
balls.
Yeah. What?
You bought stone balls.
No, just the regular balls.
Just the
Okay.
regular ones,
Just
not the ultras.
yeah, just
or
the regular
anything?
balls. No, because then it's like really easy just to throw a bunch of those and catch stuff.
That's true. I do love how you can just be if there's like 5 Pokemon in front of you, just throw all 5 at
Yeah.
once and have a Pokemon going into a tree gathering berries all at the same time. That's really nice.
Yeah, yeah. The game's really smooth. I was surprised. You can you can throw like 4 different Pokemon that can be out at once. You can hop on one and ride off, and like it's totally seamless and smooth.
I wish I could throw balls from the air when I'm flying in that bird thing, because you can throw balls in
Yeah.
the water as you're on the little Pokemon that is in the water. I wish you could do from above. That might be too cheap though. I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think it would kind of make it like pretty like easy for some of those. You can just drop in from above, but the fish are pretty tough to catch
They are
because
the aiming's
you'll be
tricky.
sneaking up on it, and then all of a sudden it just sees you, and you're like, "What?" Like,
Yeah, it slows down when you jump. I would go.
Yeah.
I burned through so many Pokeballs when I'm in the water trying to get something.
yeah. Try using the I think they're the fly ball or whatever, the ones that just like, yeah.
Oh, those are great. They go so super far. What's your team look like right now, John?
My team. Not very impressive, I'd say. I got a Ponyta. I got a Geodude. I don't have very many like good Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie. This is really embarrassing to talk about. Which starters did you guys get?
I got the fire dude, Cyndaquil.
Yeah, me too.
That guy's the best.
I got
Yep.
Cyndaquil too.
Right? I mean, how can he not?
I
Yeah,
have
it is the
nostalgia for Cyndaquil.
Yeah. I got a Pichu early on in my game. It took me forever to get that guy into a Pikachu. You had to like make him happy, and I didn't make him happy quickly.
Oh,
I
they
just
still,
caught
they're
a
still doing the
Pikachu.
happiness thing.
Yeah, it's a happiness thing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't catch a Pikachu yet. I just evolved a Pichu. It took forever though. And and the evolve thing's interesting. You just tell a Pokemon to evolve when they want to, which is nice because like
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
it's helpful because you're trying to make sure you have the research rank 10, and if you evolve them too early, you don't get that research rank up.
Yeah.
And I did a Eevee evolution early on, and I didn't have a stone or anything. It's like, what's this going to do? And I guess it just randomly spits out one of the evolutions. Is that how it works?
Well, so like I got like a Jolteon by doing it during like a rainstorm.
Okay.
So you gotta like
I got a fairy
certain
one, one of my
conditions.
least favorite of the Eevee evolution that way.
I'm not sure if it's random. I think if you're in like certain conditions, then
Okay.
then you get the one.
But
So,
I've been discovering I have a Firestone and like a Thunderstone and like a Duststone now. So I guess the stones, you used to have to buy them in the shops. This time they're just like in the open world. You find them.
yeah, you can also buy them too. If you return people's satchels, then you can get them from the woman in town. There's a board in town. she's like selling stuff.
Yeah, I was super angry. I forgot. I didn't really realize that I should use the box mechanic to store like my Thunderstones in, and I jumped off a thing, and I thought I landed on the right thing with a Pokemon, and I lost like 3 or 4 of the evolution stones in my satchel, and it's gone. So hopefully that returns me at some point somehow. Very angry about that.
Yeah, one of my friends that's also playing, he lost his satchel, and it got sent to me like to return, and I told him about it, and I've been holding on to it ever since. I'm like, I'll return it whenever I want.
Oh. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm impressed that so with you, Aaron, you like really prioritize visual acuity or whatever of a game, and I'm glad the frame rate is what's making it work for you, right?
Yeah, the frame rate on this game is huge. Well, because
some people will say, I don't get the complaints that much. It's like it's not an N64 game. Like people are like, it looks much better than that. I don't know.
Well, so what I was comparing it to was Breath of the Wild. And Breath of the Wild, I think like the only difference between this game and that was that Breath of the Wild had a lot more stuff on like the ground. You had more like trees, you had more like like foliage, stuff like that. But, like other than that, I think they look pretty much the same. I mean, what else was there that was different?
Man, it's there's some areas. I mean, again, it doesn't look as good in a lot of aspects. I think
if you just add in some foliage, some like extra stuff, it would be the exact same. But here's the thing: this game runs so much better than that.
If you get in the motorcycle in Breath of the Wild, that game does not hold up. The motorcycle in Breath of the Wild, it's just like.
I never played the DLC with the motorcycle.
It's like, this is a world we cannot handle. You're going fast in it.
I mean, it runs smooth. It's running at like 60 frames.
I don't think it's. I think it's only 30.
Just like at 30,
maybe 45.
I definitely didn't go in and like walk away and go like, "Wow, this looks really good." Like I wasn't super. I didn't walk away saying, "Oh, it looks terrible. It looks bad." But I wasn't like walking away thinking like, "Oh, it looks really great." Like there's definitely. I think the Pokemon look really good, and like the people look good, and there's a lot of things that look really good. But then when you like start. The environments have a little roughness around them.
I think the water is beautiful from a distance as you're like up and looking at it. I don't know.
I think the whole game looks good. You have to look at it as a whole.
Yeah, the art style.
Pick apart all these things.
I think the art style makes it work. I don't know.
It's a good looking game. It's a good looking, Switch game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Switch game. That's what
especially handheld. I think when you blow up to the big screen, maybe it doesn't hold up as well.
That's where I played it.
Oh, you've been playing on TV. Okay.
That's the only way I play my Switch, pretty much. Sometimes, like if I have to go, like somewhere, I'll take it out of the dock.
Okay. Well, since I got the OLED one, my TV doesn't look that good. My TV looks worse.
I guess you got to buy a new TV.
That's the natural evolution here. Anything else on Arceus? Because we have a lot more to get to.
I think it was a good step in the right direction. But I'm excited for the next game if they continue with this. I think if they should.
I mean, so it's sold, 6.5 million copies in the first week. Do you think they're going to do this as their new mainline, or are they going to alternate between the two, have two different teams, or what do you think?
I don't know.
They spent 2 years building this, is what I understand. Like, the main developers, Game Freak, took a year off, and they gave Shining Diamond, Brilliant Pearl to a third-party developer to work on that with them. And they've been working this for like 2 years, I guess.
I don't see this taking over like the main line. I mean, it could take over as far as like sales go. It could become more popular, just like, more people play Pokemon Go than they play the actual Switch games. So, there's like tiers of what people will play, and this might be a little bit more accessible for people. But the thing is, even if the sales surpass the like Diamond, Pearl, Sword and Shield, all those, it doesn't matter because the development cycle is already put in place where the other one's going to be prioritized, and it's going to be like that for a while. They could see like the sales catch on and go, "Oh, we need to, put a lot more energy into this other one." And
they could do a remake followed by a Legends, like alternate remake.
Oh, I'm
Legends,
sure they
remake
will. I'm
Legends.
sure they're not going to go anywhere, I don't think. But I feel like each one's going to have like a different hook. Like this one was all about filling out the Pokedex. Maybe the next one's all about like, I don't know, discovering evolution. I don't know. They might use this as like a way to go and dive into different like Pokemon topics. I don't know.
Right? Yeah. I'm
Maybe
enjoying it. Yeah.
Maybe on the next one they'll have some time to record their own sounds too. So, did y'all notice how much of the sounds were just straight from like Breath of the Wild? You had the music. You had every time that you rolled, it was Link just yelling. There was like some other. There was like the nature sounds were straight from Breath of the Wild.
I mean, it's very similar. You think it's
exactly... No, there was a piano sound that was straight from Breath of the Wild, and I recorded it. And yeah,
okay,
I'm gonna go back and play Breath of the Wild. I'll find it.
Yeah,
I mean, we're about to get Kirby Breath of the Wild,
we are,
right? So they're just gonna take that, use it, and beat it to death.
I think it was more like Kirby than Kirby Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate.
Right. So, do we want to talk about Nintendo financial data for exciting stuff?
I don't even know. I'm not even looking at that.
What happened? They sold a lot of Switches.
We're talking about the Switch selling 103.54 million units.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it surpassed the Wii.
Surpassed
which
the
is the
Wii.
big news. Yeah,
and
that's
the original
news.
PlayStation.
Oh, and the original PlayStation.
And they're expecting 20 million this year or so. Do we think it's going to get to 150? Like 155 PS2?
155 would be tough because like PS2 is 154, right?
Yeah. And like
I don't know.
Nintendo's expecting 20 million this year. Can they do another 2 or 3?
Here's one way that I can guarantee that they would sell more is if they came out with a Pro model.
Or if Switch 2 is, or Pro is Switch 2 or whatever, and it's counted like the DS generation where you have multiple things in the same kind of thing.
Yeah. If they just came out with like a hardware upgrade it doesn't even have to do like 4K all the time. It just has to be able to hit 1080p 60 and then have like 4K and like the menus and stuff. Like that thing would sell like crazy.
Yeah. In the last 3 months, they sold 11.79 standard, 3.9 OLEDs, and 3.17 in light. So that's standard still, kicking butt.
They sold 4 million lights?
3.17 light, almost 4 million OLEDs. So light's the least popular in it.
So OLED's 4, lights 3, and all the others are just a regular Switch.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big gap there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It is. I mean, a lot of people probably it's better. I don't know. It comes bundled with Mario Kart. It's a standard Switch that's on TV. I don't know. Supply is probably better on the standards.
Yeah. So. Well, I'm just surprised there's not even more lights.
Or lights, because that's a cheap one, right?
Yeah, it's like it's $199. I feel like.
I've heard of a lot of people that I have like went out and went and got like a light just for like one game or like 2 games, and as soon as they finished those, and they sold it.
Yeah.
So
it's like something you
could live that
Lily Billy gets for Christmas because he didn't ask for it, and he his mom buys it and he just has it and never uses it.
You could live the multi-Switch lifestyle and have a second Switch. So you just.
I hear that's awful though.
It's not great. So your primary Switch, like the way to do this. So I gifted a Switch to my brother-in-law, and I have my Switch as the primary Switch. And theirs is a secondary. And basically, I just play in airplane mode, so I'm not online most of the time. And that way, if I'm playing and they're playing, that can happen. Because basically, if you're playing on your primary Switch online, that kicks any secondary Switches offline and can't play any of your purchase game.
So yeah, it sounds pretty terrible.
But if it's just you having 2 Switches, you wouldn't have to worry about that because you're not going to be playing the 2 consoles at the same time.
I don't know. After playing the OLED, I couldn't imagine even wanting to touch the Switch Lite.
You want an OLED light, right?
Yeah.
So, software sales, I just want to touch on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being crazy at 43.35 million. And this was the top-selling Wii U game as well. It sold 8.46 million there. So it's basically above 50 million, this Mario Kart 8, which is bonker. And it's outsold the Wii game for Mario Kart. Mario Kart Wii was only at 37 million. So that's cool. And then I just want to give props to Wii Fit Adventure closing out the top 10 for Switch so far at 13.53 million. That game's done impressively well, I think.
Wait, did you say Wii Fit Adventure? What
Or
did you
Ring
say?
Fit.
Ring Fit.
I probably did say Wii Fit.
Wii. I don't know what you said. You probably did say it right. I misheard you. I was like, oh, that's. I didn't hear about
why
that
not bring
one.
Wii Fit back? Let's do it. But there's
that game could have sold so much more too if it was. Yeah.
You couldn't find that thing for months.
Yeah.
It was like, and there's so much Pokemon on this list. Like, Diamond and Pearl is number 9 this list at like 14 million. It came out this past, October? Isn't that crazy? Like, in October,
That's
already
insane. Yeah, it's like a month and a half, and it's like 15 million. That's crazy.
It's nuts. And I'm sure Ring Fit's off this list for the next list because Arceus is just going to bump things down.
I don't know. I think the Switch is definitely going to take over PlayStation 4, which is like 120 million units.
Yep.
I don't know if there's a whole nother Pokemon game and a whole nother Zelda game coming on this system. I just can't see it slowing down.
I can't.
It's going to slow down.
This is a huge. As we'll talk about the Direct, this year seems like a huge software year for Switch, and I imagine the year after this as well, they'll have a lot of stuff because they're looking at these numbers and it's selling 20 million this year, and they wanted to see how many they could do without updating the hardware, especially during chip shortages, where making a new hardware generation would be challenging, as Sony and Microsoft are. So I ran the numbers for attach rates, which was a fun thing to do because Nintendo lists all of their systems with like hardware and software sales, and I was kind of surprised that GameCube has the highest attach rate at a 9.59 attach rate, games per system, which I don't know. Does that shock anybody there?
There's a lot of good games on there. It feels like pretty much every game that I played on that system was like really good.
Yeah.
The list was. I was surprised the Wii U was so high.
Yeah. So
I guess you buy a Wii U, you like.
Yeah, it was only like the most hardcore. I mean, look at Tim. Look how many games he has.
I bought probably like 50 games for Wii U on disc, if not more.
I have like about 20.
Yeah,
on
I have
disc.
so many Wii U games. Because it was the hardcore people. Yeah, so it goes GameCube, Wii, NES, SNES, Wii U, then Switch, then N64, then Nintendo DS, then 3DS, then GBA, then Game Boy as the order.
Game Boy is kind of funny. I would expect that to be higher because the games were cheaper and you could take the system anywhere. So I feel like you'd be playing more. I know growing up, I played my Game Boy a lot more just because I could take it anywhere I went.
I wonder if some people just like had Tetris and Pokemon and like, I don't know.
Just buy that one game.
I only had like 3 games when I was growing up and like I played those games like nonstop. So like.
Yeah, I was the same. I didn't have many games.
That was.
For Game Boy, I ended up like with a little satchel I'd carry around, just like games, constantly be switching them out and playing different games and stuff.
And the Wii, everyone bought so many of those shovelware games. I feel
honestly, the Wii
that surprised me though a little bit because I thought so many people just said Wii Sports.
Exactly, I feel like most people there's only actual sliver of people buying actual games, and within that sliver, there's a sliver of people buying more than like a handful of games.
They were so cheap on Wii that maybe people that did buy that sliver just had like. I don't know, they had 100 games. Stupid.
I mean, just think about how many people bought a Wii of that 100 million or whatever who literally never bought another game.
Yeah, but think about how many people just wanted to buy a game just because of like the motion controls. Like, oh, it'd be so cool to play this game.
Punch
yeah, but with 9 games? Like 9 games average? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Like, how many times you get like, oh, I'm going to swing my remote enough for the 9th time around?
Maybe it's because they were so cheap. Because I remember towards like the end of the week,
like $10.
Yeah, and you can get them used for like $1 or less sometimes. They were on the shelf just way marked down.
Yeah, wonder if Wii's probably bottoming out as far as like a cheap game situation goes. I bet you like they're starting to creep back up.
I bet so.
But yeah, that was surprising with 9.
Yeah, and Switch at 7.4. I wonder how that'll change over the generation. N64 does not surprise me as the least attach rate per a home console because there were so few N64 games and they were so expensive as well.
Yeah, it was expensive.
Half those games were like NFL, NHL.
Plus, there became a point where it was like if you just got the 64, like certain games wouldn't even work on it. You had to get the expansion card. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
there's
you
like
get
an
you get
additional
your Mario
cost.
Kart, you get your GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, and you have Smash Brothers,
Wave Race. Got your Wave
tennis.
Race.
I don't know. There's at least 7 games. Mario 64. I don't know. But yeah, they were expensive. That's probably part of it. I remember renting a lot back games. That was like a thing I did more of.
Well, you would have to buy like a lot of controllers if you really wanted to experience those games properly.
Oh, we did. We had all 4 slots. I mean, you had the 4
Yeah, but
slots.
that's a
You get
lot of
4 bucks.
money.
That's true. How much were controllers back?
I don't know. I remember I saved up for a long time to get one.
Yeah.
I remember
Like
I saved up the purple
40,
translucent.
50 bucks.
That was my go-to.
I mean, you could buy a whole console for probably the amount it would cost you to buy like all the extra controllers.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Rumble packs, you get the Rumble packs.
And the Rumble packs,
Yeah.
They're like, you got those people who bought memory cards for the N64,
Oh, yeah.
which I never understood because I'm like, they got cartridges that save your games. I'm like, why do you have
some
memory cards?
games
You can go to your friend's house.
Some games
That-
need
yeah.
memory cards. Is that right?
Like Perfect Dark. And you would save on there. And then you could take your character over to your friend's house. And it would have all your
that was
stuff
cool
that
being
you
able to move
unlocked.
stuff around. Yeah, that was cool. But I always thought that was like, I'd go over to a friend's house and see they had memory cards in like the little slot, and I'm like, what games are you playing that you need? What are you doing?
Right.
It's
And
really
then
cheats.
I just didn't have friends.
kind of alongside this is the fact that 3DS and Wii U eShops are shutting down March 2023, which is super quick, and this bums me out because, like, I don't know, a lot of these cartridges at this point and discs are getting super expensive, and it was super nice to be able to buy Metroid Samus Returns for the retail price once I discovered Metroid. And on 3DS, you won't be able to do that. You'll have to spend like $100 on a stupid cartridge for a game you should just be able to buy on the system. I don't know.
There's
it feels
always
super
some other
soon.
ways
It
of
feels
doing
super
it.
soon. It feels like when Sony announced this for their consoles, and then they had to cancel their plans because of the outrage, because it was just too quick.
I feel like most 3DS players have probably moved on to the Switch.
The people that are still playing the 3DS are probably doing like some jailbreaking stuff on it, because I've been looking into it and it's been out for a while. It's pretty solid, and you can just get these games for free. So it's always
I mean, I wouldn't want to.
They're going to make it hard to get.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with it just because if I guess I have a secondary 3DS I could experiment with, but I wouldn't want to mess up with my main system that you can't. I don't know, system transfer.
Just take the memory card out, and then you got to do it with like another SD card.
Yeah.
So that way, if you screw something up, you just put the other one back in.
Yeah, but it bums me out because like there are a lot of awesome 3DS exclusive games that you just won't be able to get anymore. Purchase them until this shutdown happens, I guess.
I feel like they got to look at the numbers. They know how many people are using it, and they probably feel pretty comfortable. I mean, it's a business decision, right? Like,
it is, but
it costs money to run the servers, and I guess if they're making less money than it costs to run the servers,
I can't believe that's
you
true,
shut them down.
That can't be true. It costs them that much money to run these things, and like even though I'm not an active 3DS player, I was like, oh, I love Metroid now. Let me get Metroid 2. Can't do that when the shutdown happens, which will be a bummer.
Well, that is a bummer, but I gotta tell you, there's a lot of games you can't go buy, period, at all, because they just don't exist anymore on any system because they were never carried forward.
Yeah.
Just like there's, VHSs out there, and there's more movies on VHS than any other media format, and thousands of those movies will never be seen ever again just because no one brought them forward. And it's going to be something that I think, as gamers, we'll have to deal with more and more, being like, that game you used to love, yeah, it's just gone forever, and you just can't play it in a legitimate way other than, emulating or downloading it. But I think that kind of sucks that there are like literally games I would go and buy again if I could legitimately, but I just can't.
And it feels like PS4 is like for Sony the point where it'll just always work as like the baseline of like, here's the store that PS6 will be backwards compatible with PS4. I'm guessing like this is like the foundation, and I don't know if Nintendo will ever have that. I don't know if Switch is just like a new foundation, or if when they eventually do new generations, we'll have this issue for Switch eventually. I don't know.
They're just going to continue to charge people for the same games over and over again.
That is the Nintendo way, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, they could. I'm not even mad about like. I would totally be happy with paying for this, whatever we're paying for now. What's it called on Nintendo Switch Online? If it was actually like getting the library, you know, it's not like when you go to Disney, you get Disney Plus, you get like the whole Disney vault. They're giving you like literally a
one
breadcrumbs of the Nintendo vault. They're like,
or letting you at least keep the games you purchase moving forward. If that was like, you know, just like the only thing that they did, it would still be okay. I would still pay for the online for that.
Yeah. You will be able to re-download games you purchased already, which I'm sure there would be some lawsuits if that was not the case. Yeah. So, yeah, that's just, I don't know. It's a thing. March 2023, I got to look through my list of 3DS games, make sure I have everything I want.
Well, yeah, but you can't like play these games like, you know, like they're going to release like whatever is past the Switch, right? And then there's going to be like, oh, do you remember this like 3DS game? We're like re-release it now and you're going to pay full price again, $60.
I mean, sure. Some 3DS games I think are probably better on 3DS though. I'd rather just grab that hardware and play it. Because the 3D screen, that I still, when I was playing Samus Returns, like, oh man, I do miss this system. I won't come back to it often, but when I play it, it's nice.
I play my 3DS quite a bit, actually.
It's a nice, I don't know, it's nice. Something about it.
It's a good system. I don't miss the 3D though.
No.
I think there was one game I really
3D Land.
I think it was even like Animal Crossing. It was just
chill.
I don't remember. It just was well, you know, it was just well done. You know, it was terrible in Pokemon. No, what was it? Pokemon
Didn't even have it.
Didn't have it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Such a great opportunity too, because the battles were set up perfectly for 3D.
Yeah.
Distract you from everything else going very poorly in the game.
So one of the FAQs Nintendo had on their site, evidently it was on there once they announced this news for like 5 minutes, and then it got yanked down. This is the FAQ Nintendo second thought putting it online. Once it is no longer possible to purchase software in Nintendo eShop on Wii U and the 3DS, many classic games for past platforms will cease to be available for purchase anywhere. Will you make classic games available to own in some other way? If not, then why? Does Nintendo have an obligation to preserve its classic games by continually making them available for purchase? They answer, our Switch Online membership plan offers 130 classic games and growing. We think this is an effective way to make classic content available in a broad range of players, yada, yada, yada. We currently have no plans to offer classic content. So they yanked that part of their FAQ down, which is just interesting.
That's a weird question for their own FAQ.
It really is.
Like, yeah, like I'm surprised that was even. Hey, what are we doing about preserving video games in general now that we're yanking the Wii U store down? It's like, well, first off, I don't think that's the store everyone's concerned about. Is the Wii U eShop? I know that one is.
They were both listed, 3DS. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay.
I mean, the Wii U had some great games on their virtual console.
Yeah, we won't.
I think
be
they had GBA virtual console. I think at the end. They had a Wii virtual console too.
They did have the GBA stuff. They
had GBA, yeah. They had DS on there too.
I think so, yeah.
They had a lot of.
I miss the Wii U,
good stuff.
I'd love a modern Wii U.
It's still there.
Yeah, mine's right over here.
It didn't go anywhere. It's still there.
True. I love how light that gamepad is. It's just like a big toy.
It's still got all the best-selling Switch games on it.
It does. Except the Wind Wakers and the Twilights. That's exclusive.
Oh, you know those are coming.
Oh, they're coming.
It's been like 5 years. How are they not here yet?
Oh, they will, because now they're going to shut down the Wii U shop, and then they're going to release them over on the Switch.
Right. Oh, gosh. Yeah, remember when I think it was Donkey Kong came out, they like raised the price of the Wii U version of that game to match the Switch price.
Yeah.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
They raised the
first
Wii U
first they took it off the shop, and then people complained, and then they put it back, and they raised the price.
They're like, oh, it's back, but it's the same price.
Yeah.
Classic.
So acquisitions, I just want to touch briefly. Microsoft spending all the money to get Activision, and then Sony getting Bungie. I don't know. It's disconcerting to me a little bit of these big companies just like gobbling up these big guys. It's also just really comical that Crash Bandicoot is owned by Microsoft, and Crash Bandicoot is that original game is in Uncharted 4, one of Sony's biggest games. So it was like their old mascot. And then Bungie, creators of Halo, is now owned by Sony. I just find it all just very funny how this shakes out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think about this stuff, like moving forward. And the only way that this is going to be allowed to continue to happen is if it's good for the consumer. But like, I don't see yet how it's going to be better for the consumer. I see just like the monopolization of all these companies, which is going to make poorer products still at full price with just more DLCs and
and pushing everyone to just get Game Pass.
Yeah.
And that price is going up for Game Pass at some point.
Yeah.
It'll be Netflix where it starts at whatever and doubles by, a couple of years later.
There will be some good things, I think. Selfishly, I am excited because if Activision, who owns the rights to 007 currently, and Rare...
They do?
Who owns
007?
Yeah, they own the current licensing rights to 007 games, and they own Rare, which owns the rights to GoldenEye. Now, it seems possible that there can be a re-release of GoldenEye.
I thought we'd have that in the Direct because there was like that leak of the Gamebox Xbox achievement things.
There was also the achievements that leaked, which is cool, but this is like guaranteeing it. Like there's no reason anymore why it couldn't happen. This is like a done deal, guys.
Remember when the Wii U got Call of Duty games? We got Ghost, Black Ops 2. Those were some good Call of Duty games on the Wii U.
I'm kind of tired though of like always looking back now. Like it was good for a little bit, but I think we've done enough of these remakes and stuff where they've done like a bad job and kind of tainted all of these games. Like, let's just make some new stuff now. Like, what's
No, give me the old. Give me GoldenEye. I want it.
I still can't buy that N64 controller from Nintendo. It's still not available.
I might have to look on eBay.
I'm waiting until it's available. Yeah. I don't know. The Bungie stuff's interesting with Sony getting into more live service games. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Anything else on that before we move on to Nintendo Direct? Okay. So, Nintendo Direct was bonkers. John, do you have a favorite hit from the Direct?
Is that a no?
Wait, did you ask me a question? Sorry.
Yeah, I did. Favorite announcement from the Direct?
Wait, sorry, what did you say? I was laughing. I couldn't hear you.
What was your favorite, surprise bombshell drop?
Favorite surprise from the Direct. Okay, gotcha. Honestly, No Man's Sky is pretty cool. I think
it's surprising. I'm impressed.
But
you can have this world that is always generated.
I don't think it can, but
it looks
you
good.
have to remember, No Man's Sky is the same game that lied from the start when it came out. They said it was online and it wasn't.
They're honest.
No, they lied from the start. And can't trust them. And they say it runs on the Switch. I don't.
I really enjoyed the original No Man's Sky on PS4. I don't know why everyone was angry because I really loved that first.
Because
iteration.
They lied. That's why.
I didn't read the marketing. It's like I just kind of bought it and enjoyed it.
The number one thing that they said is that you could play with your friends. So everyone got on there and they were like trying to communicate with your friends. Like, oh, where'd you spawn? And tons of people went to the same planet,
and you weren't there.
And then they found that they weren't there.
That's in there now, though, right?
It is now, but it took them like 5 years.
I mean, the game's great now.
Perfect timing for the Switch version.
Absolutely.
The definitive version.
I'm excited to see how this thing runs because, it looks good. It looks good in the Direct.
Yes.
I'll wait for some reviews.
In the menus.
But having this game anywhere seems great. Just chilling out when you're traveling to some No Man's Sky.
That was cool. Honestly, Portal's cool because I never played Portal.
I've never played these either because I don't have a PC. I'm not a PC dude.
A good chance to play them. But honestly, Mario Strikers is what I'm most excited for. Yeah.
15 years later, we get this.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Yeah, literally. Rematch my friend. We call up all my friends we used to play 15 years ago. Like, hey,
you build a
there's
club.
A new Mario Strikers out. Yeah, we can form we won't need to because we can just form a great club.
Yeah,
online.
True.
With all my friends.
Beat up the other clubs.
Yeah, no, Strikers looks great.
I've never really played a Strikers game because I wasn't actively a GameCube or Wii player. I kind of skipped out in those generations. I only went back to them after the fact.
I played the Wii one the most.
Okay.
It was Supercharged, I think it was what it was called. And you kind of would take the Wii remote and, flick it around and kind of supercharge your kicks and stuff like that was kind of the gimmick. This one, it seems, what was the gimmick? They have these.
You can't. You get 2 points if you
You get 2 points, but they're like mega moves. I'm like,
and there's more main characters from the past. I guess in the past games you had like a captain. In this game, you're all captain.
Yeah, I got the direct pulled up now, but yeah, there's a lot more kind of these specialty kick butt moves. They got the orbs, and you get 2 points if you actually score with one of those. So it looks all around pretty solid. It honestly looks like the Wii version. It doesn't look like they've changed too much. It literally looks like someone opened up the Wii file and said, "What are we gonna add?" And they're just like, "Oh, there we go. All right, it's good." I'm not mad though because the Wii one was awesome.
And they'll be able to balance it and stuff since you can patch games now.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if they keep adding stuff to it, or kind of like Mario Tennis, they added a couple things later. They actually add more courses, more characters, things like that. But honestly, I'm happy it doesn't seem super gimmicky to kind of keep in. Sometimes these Mario sports games, the gimmicks, they kind of overtake the game, and they kind of need that balance of arcadiness versus actual, a game that's fun to play. So it looks cool.
June 10th, I think this is soon.
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it coming honestly at all.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, they call it a hyper strike is what they're calling those new moves. Okay. Hyper strikes. But yeah, it looks cool.
Definitely.
I'll be getting it for sure.
Yeah, I want to play you guys. That'll be cool. My flip out moment was the reveal of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 as I was seeing. It's like I saw oh, that's a Monado Blade. That's a little fuzzball dude. This is definitely a Xenoblade game, and I was flipping out as that reveal was happening, and just I could see from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 the big worlds that were creatures. I saw them frozen. It's oh damn, and yeah, I was flipping out. And by the end, I was very happy with that announcement. I was very excited because and they explained in the direct or whatever, this brings together Xenoblade 1 and 2. Both of the worlds are in this one game, and you have I think one of the protagonists is from Xenoblade 1 world, and the other one's from Xenoblade 2 world. And the end of Xenoblade 2 kind of tells you how they're connected and stuff like that. And this seems like just a fantastic entry, and I'm super excited to spend 100 hours in this thing. Yeah, so it's one of my favorite series, so I'm very excited to dive back into it. And so they did Xenoblade 2, then they did Xenoblade 1 remastered. Now we got Xenoblade 3. I wonder if after this is out, we get X remastered. I think that could happen. We'll see.
Maybe. I mean that one, it didn't even run very well on the Wii U. So
it was impressive.
There's no way that it's going to run that well on the Switch.
What do you mean? The Switch is more powerful than Wii U, right?
The Switch struggles to play a lot of games that played so well on the Wii U. I mean, look at Breath of the Wild. Have you played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U? I never
did get the Wii U version. Did you play it?
One of my friends had it, and I played it, and it was so much smoother.
It's sealed, and I will never open it up.
Yeah, that plays so much better on the Wii U.
Does it really? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, they might... Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if they can optimize and do stuff.
They would. So the problem with that, though, is the draw distance and stuff. There's so much stuff going on in that game with the weather effects and all that. I feel that it would reduce the resolution too much to where everything would just look,
okay,
really fuzzy and yeah.
Gotcha. Hopefully we can have it happen one day. Maybe Switch 2 launch game. Switch Pro launch game. What about you, Aaron? What were some of your favorite?
There's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I'm just not going to be getting anything.
Oh, Aaron, you're just going to steal all the games and play in your PC?
No, I'm just not.
Aaron, this Disney kart racer is free to play.
Yes, that's the only one.
It looks kind of good, actually.
One that I'm going to be getting off
so,
the
Aaron,
year
you're
on
not
my
going to partake in the 48 doubling of courses from Mario Kart 8? And
I will not.
That great frame rate. It's super smooth and beautiful.
No,
I was excited for that because I already paid for that thing. And
you have the expansion pass already?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm playing Banjo.
Okay, I'm waiting until I can buy an N64 controller. Get that expansion.
You know where else you could play Banjo-Kazooie?
I have the cartridge. I can literally walk down the hallway and play it.
Dang, that's terrible.
It is. Yeah.
How
I
wild
like
is
the
it?
jiggies.
How
Getting all
wild
the
is it
jiggies.
that they're doubling Mario Kart 8 in size? It's just crazy to me to think that they're doing.
I mean,
It's
it's a
pretty
racing
wild.
game. It's not. I mean, I guess it is technically doubling the game size, but
It's gonna be like 96 tracks, I think.
it's not like adding new worlds in a Mario game. You know.
I need to spend the time and go through. I need to go through and list out all the Mario Kart courses from all the games and see how many courses there are, and just see how many they would need to do all of them. The Smash Brothers effect.
What percentage? I'm curious. Yeah, it's a lot of courses. 48. They said over the next 2 years. They said until the end of 2023.
Yeah.
We're
getting the first batch in next month in March. So I will be playing a crap ton of Mario Kart 8 as those drop out. I will be getting all the stars.
It definitely makes the service a lot more worth it.
Yeah, it's tempting for me to get that expansion finally for this thing, because I'm gonna get it at some point. I just because then I'll get the Animal Crossing DLC. I can play that as well.
So I guess if we're talking games that look really smooth like Mario Kart, we should talk about games that looked really not smooth like these Assassin's Creed remakes.
Oh yeah,
that look really bad.
Ezio collection.
Did they look bad? Like I didn't. All right, so I played those games on like the Xbox 360. They were always 30 FPS, and those games aren't really like insane looking. It's just like pretty much the same textures reused over and over again. I think the Switch is going to play those okay because they already have the Assassin's Creed games on the Switch that play like really good from what I've heard.
Yeah, Black Flag 3 is great. I have that on Switch. And we're getting the Wii version of The Force Awakens or Unleashed. Sorry.
Yeah, the Wii games.
The Wii version. That should be interesting. Oh no, that's gonna be. I'll have to wait for reviews to see if that is worth playing.
Why you can already go back and look at the reviews from like 20 years ago.
I want to make sure the port. I don't know if they do anything. Mitch, I laughed out loud when I heard Dread Mode announced. It's like I was just laughing. It's like that's so stupid. One hit, you're dead. That's just insane.
Yeah, it is pretty dumb. I mean,
rookie mode makes sense. In the boss rush mode, I will totally play that mode. That seems.
There's
cool.
Gonna be some crazy people on Twitch like doing that and
the Dread Mode.
Yeah, there's gonna be some speedrunners who do it no problem.
Oh yeah, and I'm very happy to see the return of Wii Sports in the form of Nintendo Switch Sports. That sounds like it could be a cool time.
All right, so do you remember when like Nintendo used to release games and they used to be complete, and suddenly they started switching over to this, and no one has called them out on it to where they just release things in packs now, like. Oh, you're gonna get the sports game, but it's not gonna have golf, the thing that everyone loves, and it'll come out eventually when we finish it. They never said when.
They said fall for golf.
Which fall? Like next year?
It's implied this year.
We never got the GameCube games on Wii U. That's all I'm saying.
We did not. Did they announce that?
Yes, when they announced the Wii U, they said GameCube.
Oh, and then the Wii U never sold.
Yes, and it never came. Yeah,
because the Wii U didn't
like
sell
Wii U,
well.
like Wii
they
U
said it was coming to like the eShop or whatever. Yeah, where you could just download them and play.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings are here, and I'm not sure if I'll play those again.
I already bought that on the Wii U.
I did. I bought it on the Wii U.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has a manual like the Wii U version had. I need to check that.
Here we go. Nintendo preserving their great history.
I'm super excited for Kirby. This game looks better and better the more I see it. It just looks like it's gonna be fantastic and just filled with joy and bizarreness and wackiness.
Yeah, you just swallow big items.
Yeah, you're just like wrapping around your car or a vending machine.
I think it could be fun, but like once I saw this trailer, I was like, I've already played this game. I felt like I had already played it with Mario Odyssey.
I mean, this will be more wacky.
I don't know. I think it'll just feel like the same thing.
So, Live, Aaron. This game, I think, will look beautiful on the Switch. I don't think you'll have any frame rate or graphical issues running this.
Yeah, which one was this? I remember
the game
kind of.
Octopath Traveler inspired this game. Was inspired by this game. It's the one that was only out in Japan.
Oh yeah. Okay, it was like
rave about this thing. They think and it's got the 2D HD remaster kind of look. I think this could be a fun one.
Which one are you talking about? The triangle game?
No, Live.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know, concurrent stories or something. I need a more. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet. And then I think we We had other things like Chrono Cross that looked like a PS1 game.
Yeah, have you been seeing their tweets? They've been tweeting out some screenshots like, "Oh, look, we've like remade like the character models," and I was like swapping between those two photos, like they're the same photo. I cannot tell a difference between these new character models and like the old character models.
Yeah,
it's like they tried to make it look bad.
Klonoa 1 and 2, I've heard amazing things about. I've never played ththese games. I feel like I should play these games because people just seem to love this thing. They're like a platformer. I think you're a cat or something. I don't know.
What?
Klonoa.
Which game are you talking about?
Klonoa.
No idea what this is. Yeah, I don't remember this one.
I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, I don't know. People seem to like it. And then Triangle Strategy. The demo seems super smart, where you can play the first 3 chapters for free, and then your save data transfers over. So I downloaded the demo. I'm going to try it out and see if it clicks with me. If it does, I may get the full game.
Here's the thing, though. Square Enix, they're not going to get me this time, where I buy these games on the Switch, and then like 6 months later, they release it on Steam. So I'm just going to wait for the Steam one this time.
Are you going to try the demo to see if you like it?
Maybe.
Okay. And then I have no interest in Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, the Warriors game. That seems like I don't need to spend I need to finish the Zelda one, which I have not finished yet.
What about this MLB game? How's that going?
I think it's kind of hilarious it's coming to Switch because this is a Sony developed game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's from PlayStation. It used to be a PlayStation exclusive. Then the MLB forced them to put it on Xbox last year, and now it's on.
Yeah, I'm sure they're like, hey, we'd like some more money. What are you doing?
Yeah. But I think it's not going to run as nearly obviously as good as PS5 or Xbox, but I think it's great. I think it's going to be awesome to have on Switch. That seems like a great handheld game.
It's pretty much like a one-button game, though. You play with just like the stick and like one button.
And your save data syncs between Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. Yeah. That seems cool. Like I could have a PS5 version and this if I wanted to and go back and forth. But yeah, it seems great because we haven't had a good baseball game on Switch in a while. If ever. We had, I think, an RBI maybe.
Never been a good game on the Switch. I mean, like a good baseball game.
I think there was like an RBI baseball, but yeah, nothing really good recently.
I think the last good baseball game that we had
Ken Griffey
was
Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. Slugged.
No, it was Wii Sports Baseball, y'all.
Oh, that was okay, but yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. Man, that was the stuff.
Slugfest.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That was a good one, man. I don't know, that was a really good game.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man,
I spent so many hours playing that. People were like, "Come on, you gotta go outside. I want to go play real baseball." No, I got
Slugfest.
Yeah, it was so.
Yeah. That's a good N64 game. That's one I'd like on the little virtual console. Yeah.
Oh, man. I hope they keep releasing more SNES and NES games in the virtual console.
Nope, they've done them all.
I'm glad we got Earthbound.
One a month from now on.
Well, we haven't gotten one a month. They've switched to just N64 releases recently.
I know.
Yeah, so Earthbound was good to see that pop up.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of, where's the Earthbound 3? Or,
yeah, they should
Mother
translate
3.
that.
Like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
These they kind of re-released these with fanfare, but it's like, yo, you did this 5 years ago with fanfare. You can't like keep doing this over and over again, acting like it's a big deal. Like you've already done. They
should do Mother 3, and then they should do like a Mother 4. Have a proper new game in the series. Why not? They can't be that expensive to make, right?
Like full 3D.
It could be a 2D RPG. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
It could be 3D. I don't know. Anything else from the Direct?
They showed Salmon Run for Splatoon.
That looks good.
3, which Salmon Run is fun.
It seems like a weird thing to show from the game.
No, well, yeah. It's I get it because it's something they can show that people are familiar with, but yet not part of the main game.
Right.
So they've showed some of the changes, which I like a lot. Salmon Run's not something I play a lot. I don't usually play Salmon Run when all the other modes that are going on I'm not into, which is like Clan Blitz. But
and they announced summer, so I'm thinking July or August for this one, right?
May or June or July.
Because June's packed. It's got Strikers and Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh, is that when Strikers in June?
Yeah, June 10th.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I think July or August is a safe bet for that.
Oh, it sounds so far.
I know. It's a packed year, though. We're getting some big... And then the end of the year, I think we're getting Breath of the Wild and maybe Metroid Prime Remastered, I think.
I don't think we're getting Metroid.
I think we're getting the remastered Metroid Prime remastered. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
not Metroid 4. I think we're getting remastered 1 as well.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, a lot of stuff this year. Do we have time to just mention our favorite games, or should we hold that for later from last year?
Man, I mean, I think last year was a pretty terrible year for games.
It was a pretty light
What did I
year.
even play last year? I don't even remember what I played last year.
So last year I discovered the Metroid series when Dread came out, and I played that. I played the entire Metroid series because of my love of Dread, and played Dread twice. So that was definitely my favorite Nintendo game was Dread. And then the whole Metroid series along with it. And then Returnal on the PS5 was my favorite non-Nintendo game. And that game still sucks me in. It's just one of my favorite games of recent memory. Bloody difficult game. Super rewarding. And just feels so good. Kind of feels like a one-player Destiny in a way. Where it's just like the gunplay feels super nice. But there's, I don't know. It's a roguelike where you're going through this different stages and stuff, but it's a game that kind of handles grief and like loss and stuff, and it does this really bonkers thing with you like finish the first act and you're like an astronaut on this alien world and you're saved, and then you live out your life till like you're 80 or 90 and you die, and you come back alive in Act 2 back on that planet that you escaped from. And you're really because you're stuck in this loop. You're stuck in this loop, right? Even if you die on Earth, transport back here because cursed or whatever. It's good.
Sounds like my nightmare.
But yeah, that was probably my favorite game on PS. Yeah, I don't know. And then Skyward Sword, I finally played it last year. That was my first time playing
last
it.
Year.
Yeah, I never played the Wii version.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Wii version, I bet, would have been more frustrating if you.
Yeah, I'm so glad I had buttons.
Definitely.
The motion control, I had struggles just getting the right up, down, left, right with buttons. It's like or the joystick.
Just the flying.
Yeah, I can't imagine playing that with motion. That must have been. Did you guys finish that with motion? That must have been an infuriating experience.
You had to.
No, I never finished it, but I played pretty far in the game.
Okay, yeah. No, that was cool. Twilight Princess is now the only 3D game I've not finished. I started that on Wii U, never finished it.
I like Twilight Princess better than Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
I overall really like Skyward Sword, like the world and just environment and story and puzzles and stuff. It was cool. Nothing tops Wind Waker, of course, is the best 3D Zelda game.
I think the biggest problem with Skyward Sword to me is everything felt really separated, and there were parts of the game where you couldn't even get back to other parts. Even if you just want to go back to just like run around and just explore, you couldn't. You had to like get to certain points where you could go back.
Yeah, the summoning bird.
Yeah, and like all the other Zelda games, like once you get somewhere, you can just go back there whenever you want, pretty much.
Yeah, the ending of that was super cool. Like the old lady, and that was fun. To see that story play out. But I'm not sure if you made it that far. Do you know about the old lady and what I mean there?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
John, you know what I'm talking about, the old lady?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wasn't that cool? Anyways. Any comments from you guys favorite year?
I think it was a pretty terrible year for gaming overall. However,
it was. I think it's going to be made up for this year.
Yeah, I did start the year playing Pokemon Shield, I guess, and then I finally finished it like the night before Pokemon Legends came out. So I guess that was kind of my game of the year. It took me all year to finish that. And other than Nintendo, I played RuneScape. I got hooked into that game over the summer and basically spent like half of the year playing RuneScape.
What's
in
RuneScape
New World
exactly?
RuneScape is like, it's an MMO. It's online, and it's basically just like, it's got a huge story. You can like, you have all these skills and stuff. You can do crafting and go adventure. It's just like an adventure, you know?
Okay.
But I played New World also. I was really disappointed with that. Don't waste your money.
Okay. What are you looking forward to this year, Aaron? Are you gonna get Elden Ring or?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it like right at launch because I'm playing Lost Ark right now, and Lost Ark is like, it took over Pokemon because I was hooked on Pokemon, and then all of a sudden Lost Ark came out, and this game is so good. It's like a Korean MMO. Finally came over to the West last week.
Oh, wow.
And so we have like years of content to play through.
Do you have an ultra wide monitor?
No, I have 3 monitors, three
Okay.
1080p, and like right next to each other. So yeah, I can make it ultra wide if I want, but I'll still have like the bezels.
Gotcha. Because I heard God of War on PC, the ultra wide thing is just bonkers how well that's done. Because it's like one shot and one camera shot the whole game, and they like did the work to make that work in ultra wide in a cool way. Yeah. What's you, John?
Yeah.
This coming year, what am I looking forward to?
Both.
Or last year?
Last year. What was any favorites, and then we looking forward to this year?
Last year, like you guys mentioned, was kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like having to like, what did I play last year? Cruise and Blast for Switch came out, which is an arcade game, or was it an arcade original game for the Cruisin' series, which if you're like an arcade racer fan is like, really high up there, especially if you grew up, in the 90s, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But
I want Road
that
Rash
game
to come back.
is a lot of fun. Cruise and Blast on Switch is a lot of fun. Other than that, gosh, Pokemon Snap came out, and I was super excited about it. Didn't even get it.
Oh, man.
Super Monkey Ball is probably where I spent the most of my time as far as games came out, like playing the remakes on Switch. Those were really good. If you like Super Monkey Ball, those are awesome. That Splatoon, I really didn't. Nothing really grabbed me, especially compared to the year before where Animal Crossing got sucked in. Nothing really like that last year.
Yeah, this, I did look at my year in review. I did 47 hours in Dread, 41 hours in Skyward Sword, 14 hours in Mario Golf Super Rush. I'd played 14 games up from 12 the year before for me on Switch.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I played a lot of Metroid Dread. It's like, that's not a long game, but I played that a long time. And I want to get Cruisin' Blast. That sounds like an awesome entry.
Yeah, it is. You can unlock like a UFO, all sorts of weird stuff. And the physics are crazy, like when someone hits you and it's like no physics engine ever, like you fly around, the car flips around, it would never happen in real life. So it's super terrible arcade racer. It's great.
Yeah.
Did we get Star Wars Episode 1 Racer last year?
Was that last year?
I think it was.
Was that last year?
Because that would have been my best Switch game.
I mean, that thing it looks great too.
I'm not sure if it was, but I think it was.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap it up? Okay.
No.
Aaron, where can folks find you on the interwebs and streams and stuff?
I stream on Twitch pretty much every day now at Sage Levi. You can find me over there.
Cool deal. What you, John?
You can find me on Twitter and everywhere at John Wesley.
Cool deal. Well, my handle is TCHATEN, and thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next time.